So we see the Pharisees kind of beating up on those poor apostles, hungry apostles, because they were picking the grain of wheat, the head of the wheat, and eating it. And they were not being chastised for eating the wheat, but picking the grain. Because to the Pharisees, the act of picking was work, and work was not keeping the Sabbath holy, and therefore they were sinning. And to them, that made sense. For probably about 250 to 300 years, the Pharisees worked on the laws, and they drilled them down so that they could understand what to do and not what to do, and it made perfect sense. But it put a big, huge burden on the people of the day. So if your milk was out, if your cow was out there in the barn and the cow was screaming because it needed to be milked, you couldn't go out and milk it because that would be work. You couldn't even pick up the pail of milk and carry it into the house because that would be work. You couldn't go out to the well and draw a well from the water and take it into the house because that would be work. And on and on and on. They added all these things to what you could do, what you can't do, that it just became impossible for the everyday person to obey these laws. And so they were basically all sinners. For some of you here have heard me talk about going into Israel, and even today, they still have laws that prevent the Jews, or some of the Jews, from working. When we were there, we were in a 5-star hotel. And the night that we got there was the Sabbath. It was Friday night. And before the Sabbath, before it got dark, they had set up our dinner in the restaurant. And they were on each table those metal trays with Bunsen burners underneath them. And that was keeping the food warm. This is a 5-star hotel. I had to go in there and dip out of a piece of metal to put on my plate to eat because the people could not serve. They could not turn on something or turn off something. They couldn't turn on the lights or turn off the lights or turn on the heater or turn on the oven. They couldn't do anything after nightfall. So we had to eat out of these things. And they still have a lot of these laws that were still, that for 2,000 years now, they've been obeying. Now, of course, when the Christianity formed and the church formed, obviously we knew that the commandments were very important because Jesus said, keep the commandments. He told us that. And so we knew we had to keep holy the Sabbath, but we changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. So instead of Friday night to Saturday night, it's now Sunday's the Sabbath. But still, the commandment still is there. Keep holy the Sabbath on Sunday. And for a long, long time, for nearly 2,000 years, church kept holy the Sabbath. But in the last 50 years or so, it's been fading quickly. I remember when I was a child in the 50s and 60s that we had this drugstore down on the corner, and the drugstore was allowed to stay open on Sunday because people might need medicine, so they could come in there and get their medication in the pharmacy part. But in this drugstore, there was also a little diner counter. And that diner counter had to be closed on Sunday. It could not be open. It was open the rest of the week, but on Sunday it had to be closed. Well, before I left, when I was in high school, before I left, that same little place, the diner, was open at noon on Sunday and could stay the rest of the day. And of course, and we know what's happened throughout the years now. It got to the point where everything could stay open after 12 o'clock. For those who have lived in the South, we had these blue laws for a long time that prevented you from having something open earlier than that, except for places like hospitals and pharmacies. But now those are gone too, so that just about anything can be open. Anything can be open now all day long on Sunday. There is no more in our country, keep holy the Sabbath. Anything can be bought. Even though you can't buy wine in a grocery store before noon, you can order it online and you can receive it online. Don't ask me how I know that. You just can. So basically, there's no prohibition about doing anything on Sundays. Now, there's nothing wrong with playing golf on Sunday, or going out to the beach on Sunday, or to the lake on Sunday, or cutting your grass on Sunday. The point was that God gave us was to take that day off and think about God and thank Him for all the many gifts that He gave us. That's what the Jews were supposed to do. God took the Jews out of slavery, and He gave them all that land. He just blessed them with so much. And that's what Sabbath is all about. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to thank God on Sunday for all the things He's done for us and for loving us. And we're supposed to spend that 1 hour at Mass every Sunday. And it's unfortunate that even the Catholics, only 35% of the Catholics go to Mass regularly every Sunday. Now it's more like 50% or so come throughout the month, but just 30-something% every Sunday. And it's a mortal sin if we don't come to Mass on Sunday, if we do it on purpose. It's a mortal sin, and it should be a mortal sin. That God wants me to come and keep this day holy and thank Him and love Him in His house of worship, and I don't come because I'm too tired to get up. No, it should be a mortal sin, and it is. During this time of the pandemic, the bishop has given us a dispensation not to come to Mass if we don't feel we should, and that is good, because there are a lot of people that don't come because they're afraid of their health. You brave people are here. Almost everybody's wearing masks, and that is great, and it's a good thing. But one day, God willing, hopefully, this thing will be gone, and we should see these pews full of people, keeping Sunday holy as God told us in His commandments.